So we'll now move on to the next paper by Rajesh Kumar ji. Dr. Rajesh Kumar ji is going to talk about environmentalism, the definition and approach through examples of Hindu practices and scriptures.
Thank you, Nagaraj and the whole INDIC team for giving this opportunity to talk on this topic. My basic training is not in any of these. My basic training is in physics, and what I just try to learn, and since I saw this conference, so I thought, okay, let me share a few things that I felt. So this is not done based on too extensive research on this, but whatever I have gone through and what I have learned and heard from my peers, I will just try to share. Okay, and I will like to tell that I am from IIT Indore, and we are always proud of being from the cleanest city in India, and that also for the fifth time. So let us see what I have here. Can next? Yeah, so this is how I have planned, and let us see how we can define environmentalism, because this is the first thing that came to my mind when we said that Hinduism and environmentalism, which means we and the environment. Is it two separate thing, or can we say something else about it? And what are the Hindu practices that touches it, and what does the literature say, and what are the lessons that we can learn from this? Next. Before I go to the actual talk, this is some of the work that we do, and here also you will see that some of the work related to Indian knowledge systems. We have a center here about Indian knowledge system at IIT Indore, where we have just started all these kind of things, that whether the herbal materials, whether that is of use in technology, and how that can be used for making materials which are of technological importance. Next, please. This is again, we were in news for making electronic devices using herbal products, and we were given some award also. Next, please. Yeah, so this was also about this technology that we use for doing research on herbal materials. Next, please. Yeah, so this one was, I was mentioning that that electronic materials are there in these herbal materials, and where we use them for making memory chips, memory devices. Not yet, we have not yet come with the chips, but memory things. So this is, I'm showing only to connect how environment affects all of us. Next, please. Yes. So let us talk about the environmentalism. When we say that we and the environment, it appears that we two are different. I'm trying to understand. Suppose there are two fish inside the ocean or a river, and one fish asks that where is this ocean? And this second fish is answering, you are in it and a part of it. Which means that this fish, since it doesn't understand what is the ocean, that's why it has an impression that the fish and ocean, they are separate. So that's why I'm showing this cartoon, that when we say environment, it is very much we and the environment. We are not two separate things. If we consider of an environment, we are very much part of it, but we will consider it as a, yes, yeah, yes, please, next please. So, so we and environment are not different. We are very much part of it. But for discussion, we will consider that, okay, we and the environment is separate, so that we can build this discussion, and then we continue. Next, please. Yes. So when we try to talk about Hinduism and environment, very basis, which this sentence is from Tulsidas, written Ramcharit Manas, which says that Chitijal Pavak Gagan Samira Panch Rachitiya Adham Sarira. Means our own body is made up of these 5 elements, and which is very much part of this environment. So the Hinduism, which considers the whole body or the whole any life as a part, as made up of these 5 elements, which is environment. So this discussion, when it starts, that how environment is associated with Hinduism, it looks talking about something which is very obvious. But let us see what next. I will talk about why Tulsidas ji writes Adham about the Sharir. What my feeling is about this, I will discuss it later if time permits. Please, next, please. And I give this example of Mata Sita again from Sri Ram's this history. Mata Sita is a very good example that how a whole life, a full-fledged human life, can take birth from earth, and it just merges with the earth. So what could be a better example to show that environment and we are in union with that, and that also is the basis of yoga, which in the previous talk it was also mentioned. So no other religion says that a whole full-fledged body of flesh can come out of earth, and it can just at the end, and it can merge with the earth. Next, please. And this is also related with the personification. To make this point, I think my guess would be to make this point that how environment and we are in union. All these gods are personified. That whether all these elements which is written here, be it Pavan, Surya, Varun, Prithvi, Agni, Vanaspati, everything, that to make the point that all this is part of us, and that's why these are personified, and associated festivals are there. Shefali Vaidyaji very clearly mentioned about one of these. So all these festivals and all these personification of gods, that is also emphasizing and highlighting that how environmentalism and Hinduism, it's just a union of kind of thing. Next, please. See, we all understand this, that all these parts, anything we can think of on this earth or universe, that is categorized in these consisting of 5 parts of be it earth, air, fire, water, space. And how it has been created, it had been created from nothingness. And then all, if you keep increasing increasing the macroness in these things, then by slowly adding it up, it becomes space to air, air to fire, water and earth. And that is very much associated with the 5 senses that we have, that all these 5 things adding one to the other and keep on adding, the nature of sense comes the composition of the body and the ability to sense all these, they are also entangled with each other. And that is another example that how environment comes into picture. When we say or we talk about us, very much we are talking about the whole environment. It's not that we are talking about us and not talking about the environmentalism. Probably since we don't understand this all these things are getting polluted and are not remaining as of that we can use all of them. Next, please. Now, see the basic practice that that is prescribed in Hinduism. It says that before we wake up and touch the earth, we start with this mantra, which says Samudra Vasane Devi Parvatstan Mandale Vishnu Patnim Navastubhyam Pad Sparsham Chamaswame. We understand that we will now wake up and put our feet on the earth, So before we do that, we just seek pardon. The meaning is written here that, O earth, now for my daily living, I have to put my feet on you. Please pardon me for that. That means that we consider it as a living being. And actually it is that our all body, everything is made up of this. So we feel that we should seek pardon before we put our feet on it. So these are the very first thing that is prescribed in Hinduism, which tells us that how sensitive we are towards the environment. Next, please. Moving ahead, one example from Sri Ramcharitmanas, where we all know this story that Sri Ram and his whole Sena is at the bank of ocean, and they need to cross the ocean so that they can reach Sri Lanka, and for next course of action when they were looking for Sita on their way. So before they do that, there is a ocean in between. So Sri Ram asks Vibhishan, see, look at the sensitivity. He says that, see, inside this sea or the ocean, there are so many kind of animals. How to cross that? It is not easy to cross this, so how to cross that? Then in reply, Vibhishan suggests that, see, Lord Ram, you are capable. I would like to just have a focus on this. Vibhishan says that you are capable of just drying this whole ocean, but the Niti doesn't say that. What does the Niti say? It is your personal thing that you are looking for your wife, you have to reach Sri Lanka, but even then you are not supposed to destroy this sea. So let us not, one should not exploit the natural resources for personal needs, and that's what the Niti says as per Vibhishan, and which is a very which is in Hinduism as in general. Everywhere we'll see example that it says that no personal needs should be allowed to exploit the nature. Next, please. See, and see all these things, if we since we don't understand, now look at a campaign. People say, we all of us have seen people saying that save earth. He says, okay, save earth, save earth. It is not about saving earth. The reality is save yourself. Earth is here since long. See, this is these many years ago, 5 crore years ago, and this is now. So earth is here since long. Earth was here and earth will remain here. If we don't change our behavior, earth will remain here. We need not save earth. We need to save ourselves. So campaign is save earth, but the reality is save ourselves. So don't save earth. Earth will remain here. Save yourself. These pictures from Kedarnath, this is very clear that everything, nature is capable of take care of it. If the better thing is to change ourselves. Next, please. Now there is a hope. Tulsidas ji also writes that sab taru phare ram hit lagi ritu aru kuritu kalagati tyagi. So environment can do this too. The meaning of this is, if we behave sensibly, for Ram it appears that nature, this sentence means that for Sri Ramji, all plants give fruits irrespective of season. So if we behave sensibly, that can be a very much part of the whole evolution of life on earth, that now we need not rely on a particular season for that particular fruit. So this is the hope that I also feel that it is. Or I don't know what scientific or so-called this modern Western science agrees with this or not, but let us take this as a hope so that we behave properly. Can we go to next now? See, one thing before I conclude, I think this is a second last slide. Last few, I think last two months, this news was in very much discussion that there is a the coal shortage on Earth, that there won't be much power, and everybody was worried that there won't be coal on this Earth. We are worried about coal so that we can have electricity. It seems that we are not that worried about water. Water we are polluting, and we are much worried about coal and petroleum. So this is the time we should be more focused about environment, and that is for us to survive, the next generations to survive. Next, please. So let us take this oath that we use anything as only as much as we need. Technology of destruction, of course, no to technology of destruction. Let us move towards yoga and spirituality, so that the yoga and spirituality, so that we can save ourselves and next generation. That's it. I think I would like to conclude here. Next slide, please. So I thank all my students and the Indic Academy and IIT Indore and the Center for Indian Scientific Knowledge Systems at IIT Indore for this. And thank you, Dr. Nagaraj for this opportunity. Thanks.
Thank you very much. It was a wonderful compilation of environmentally sensitive, environmentally useful observations, quotations, and snippets from various sources. Though it was not a structured, flowing argument, it was a compilation of wonderful, very useful, environmentally useful and warning, and environmentally warning, wonderful points all compiled into one presentation. Wonderful, Dr. Rajesh Kumarji. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
And we all admire you for that eco-friendly memory chip production for the computers. More such technology is needed from all the technology places, particularly from India and from premier institutes like IITs. We look forward to more such technology from you, Dr. Rajesh Kumar. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.